Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do a full wrap water slide with a little trick for those that are split up in some sections just like this one. So to start, we are using a 24 plump from the Steel Magnolia, and I have 3 different shades of green from CRYSTALAC. This is their FLIPN Awesome Paints. I have also used the COLORFLEX paints from ARTISTRY, so if you have some of those will work really well for this as well. Here recently, anytime I paint my tumblers, I'm using an all-over makeup brush. You can get these really cheap from Walmart, the Dollar General, Dollar Tree, or get them in bulk on Amazon. They just make your paints go on really smooth, and I feel like they help you blend even better than a regular paintbrush. When blending multiple colors, and in this one we're doing a 3-color ombre, I suggest doing a thinner layer at first. That way you can really get a base, you're not glooping your paint on there, and your final layer can be one that you spend a lot of time on getting a perfect ombre blend. Now, I know it's a little hard to see, but the 3 colors that I used is Lime Slush, Green Garden, and Clover. Once I finished this first layer, I allowed it to dry, and as I said in my previous tutorial, if you add heat, as many people do, you set your tumbler in front of a space heater or use your heat gun to quickly dry your paint. With these paints, you want to be very careful not to apply too much heat. You want the warm air to be the only thing hitting your cup instead of that hot blistering heat, because it will cause your paints to crack or a bubble. And if you do use a heat gun or a space heater, allow your cup to dry or to cool down completely before moving into your second layer. If you have a warm or a hot cup, your paint is going to dry quicker and it's going to be a little bit more difficult to blend your colors. So moving on into the second layer, as you can see, I am bringing my colors down into the following color. And the reason I do this is so when I apply my next layer of paint, I put it right at the base of where I ended the previous color, paint down into the following, and then I move my brush up into the first one. So I hope all that makes sense, but I never go back and forth in that section because you're going to end up just having to add more paint. And don't flip your brush back and forth. You want to stay on the same side of your brush so that your colors are blending perfectly. Also, I always start with the lighter color first. If I'm blending 2 darker colors, I do suggest to wash your brush off with soap and water, dry it off really well with a towel, not a heat gun because it will melt the bristles of the brush. Get those colors as close as possible to each other in the center, and then once you have finished with your other color, you can take your brush and blend them in the middle. Once you have finished blending your ombre and you feel that you have well enough coverage to move on to your glitter, then we are going to allow that to dry completely to the touch. And I am going to apply my glitter using glitter glue from the CRYSTALAC company. You can also use the new COLORFLEX glitter glue from ARTISTRY or the EPOXY method. I have used both of those in my prior tutorials, or you have seen me use them on Instagram in my reels. So definitely check that out if you need help on other methods for glitter application. So again, I'm using my makeup brush to apply my glue. It gets a really nice even coat, and I don't have any streaks that's gonna cause streaking in my glitter. The glitter that I chose is Pretty Wicked from PDB Creative Studio. This glitter is so beautiful, and it allows that ombre to show through in the background. I allowed this to dry for about 2 hours and then spray sealed with Rust-Oleum matte clear coat and applied 2 coats of ARTISTRY's 1:1 ratio fast set. This fast set for me dries to the touch in about 1 hour, and in 45 minutes I was able to add a second coat. So of course that's really helpful when you are doing a tumbler that requires multiple steps. Now moving on to the Waterslide. I am using the Print to Size app. It is awesome to help resize your larger images and full wraps. I will link that below for y'all. The tumbler dimensions is 8 inches tall and 9.75 inches around. And I enlarged the image to first the height, which was 8 inches, and then grabbed the little triangle on the corner and pulled that to 9.75. Now I'm going to show you a little trick for water slides or for images that have some breaking points in them. So I sized it the way that I wanted it. I duplicated and pulled that other image to the side, and then we're going to pull in the sides to the center image. Doing this is going to allow me to do a 2-part water slide instead of trying to do a full wrap. Once I have it cropped correctly, I am just going to turn it sideways so it prints better on my Waterslide page. I printed this out and set it to the side so we can work on the other portion of our image. Now we're going to flip this back upright and crop it to where only one side of the back of our Waterslide is showing. And the awesome thing about this app is it will automatically line things up for you. So since both of our images are the exact same size, when I bring it over to line them up, it'll automatically pop them together. So once that is together, I'm going to flip our images so that it prints better, line them up once again, and then print. So now we don't have to worry about getting the back of our Waterslide to line up proportionately. It's already done for us. So once I have these printed out and allow them to dry, I took Rust-Oleum matte clear coat and spray sealed these 3 times to make sure that they were sealed really well. And then I'm going to trim out the portions that I'm applying to my tumbler. So we're just basically going around those images that we cropped and cutting off any of that excess we were unable to take out. I have a warm container of water sitting to the side. I use warm because it helps your water slide be a little bit more flexible. It helps it release a little quicker from the back of your water slide paper, and it also helps prevent cracking. Now the brand that I'm using in this tutorial is Hippo, and it is not my favorite. I feel like it is pretty brittle. I did attempt to do this twice without separating the images, and it just didn't work. So I will not be listing this brand water slide. However, I will list my favorite below in the comments for y'all. I have used it before in actually my very first tutorial. I did a full wrap, and the water slide paper I use for it is nice and thick, and it's amazing. So I will list that below for y'all, and if you want to see how to do a full water slide, scroll down in my videos and check out one of my earlier tutorials, and soon I will do another one for y'all. And as you can see, once that water slide seemed like it would be easy to slip off of that back, I put some water on my tumbler, laid down the image with the backing on there, and slid it off with my hand as I was pulling the back off. This helps get your water slide really flat on your tumbler the first attempt. And then I took this little craft squeegee and just pretty much squeegeed the water out from under it, and then I moved on to the back side. I repeated the exact same steps on this side, lining my back water slide up as if it would have been wrapped around the entire tumbler. Once I had all the water squeegeed out from underneath it, I then took some wrapping tissue paper. You can also use a coffee filter for this, and just rubbed any of the excess water off of the top and pushed my water slide down around the edges. And I should have mentioned earlier, this design is from KYLEEN Designs. She is a very talented lady, so go check out her Etsy shop. I will have it linked below for y'all. I allowed this to dry for about an hour or two, and I did add a decal to this, and I apologize for not showing you. It gave me some crazy trouble, and I ended up having to pull the tumbler off camera so I could focus on putting some fine lines on there. This is a French design, so I wanted to go with a French saying. I thought it would be really cute to put that on the tumbler. And it says, beautiful minds or beautiful spirits inspire others. I wanted to get this tutorial up quickly for y'all, so I used Artistry's 1:1 ratio fast set, and I applied my layer of epoxy, I would say about 8 o'clock in the morning, and by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I was able to take photos and videos of this tumbler for this tutorial. So it is really, really awesome to have the ability to epoxy and take photos of my tumblers in the same day. And I can use the fast set as a top coat as well. I hope that y'all have enjoyed this tutorial and have something to take away from it. Again, this design is from KYLEEN Designs. I have linked her Etsy shop below with a discount code, along with all other materials and supplies used in this tutorial. We are having a 5,000 following giveaway on Instagram right now, so definitely go check that out. Join our Facebook group because I would love for you to see some additional content and see all of your gorgeous tumblers that you have created. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell in the corner if you'd like to be notified anytime a new tutorial drops. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you next time.